All right, Jebby. And I'm sorry, Jebediah, that your dad hates you so much not to bring you to the Dragon Con Volunteer Appreciation Day. I appreciated signing your shirt last year and you paying me for that picture. I miss you, bud. It's going to be good. What are we nerding about?
All right. Well, I guess I put mine on there first. So this past week, I took my family to Wonderworks.
Where's the closest one to you?
Up in Pigeon Forge.
Oh, okay.
Was that about an hour north of you?
2.5 hours.
Okay. And oddly enough, I called you randomly, which I never called you randomly, but I called him randomly.
Except when you butt dial me trying to, or I guess your Siri dials me.
It's a Siri dial. It's not a butt dial. Siri's an idiot.
But yeah, so we went to Wonderworks, or as my kids call it, the Upside Down Building, and this is their third time going, I believe, third or fourth. I think it's their third. But anyway, absolutely love it. It's a blast. 95% of it remains the same each year, but they do change a little bit here and there, tidbits. But it is so much fun, and they got to go with some friends of theirs they just moved to the area about 8 months ago or so, 9 months. And so it's their friend's first time going. And so they got to show them all the fun things. And we were talking pre-show a little bit. My wife has lost quite a bit of weight since Labor Day, and so she was able to go on some of the features with the kids that she wasn't able to in the past, and so the kids were ecstatic about that. And yeah, it was a ton of fun. My middle child Bob, afterwards, when he's laying down in bed that night, he's like, "Dad, why are my legs so sore?" And I'm like, "Kid, it's because you actually walked around instead of sitting on your butt playing video games all day." And so,
did they do the whole lift your own weight in the chair thing?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
well, and they've got two of them set up. Well, they've got two of them set up with a different number of pulleys, so that you can compare and contrast the effect of adding more pulleys. Because the one with more pulleys, it takes longer to raise you up, but the effort involved is significantly less. And so so they've got that. With our badges, you get one free game of laser tag. So they've got laser tag there. And unlike the Chiefs,
a fun laser tag there too.
Yeah, and unlike the Chiefs, I pulled off the three-peat.
Go Arts!
So yeah, my oldest, he was trying to get all of his friends to just follow behind me and shoot me, because every time you get shot, your shields go up and you can't shoot for a few seconds. And so even with him sending his horde of people after me, I still got first place.
Nice.
So, I beat those children. I beat them fair and square.
I just picture Joe like in a corner up on the roof with his legs spread, holding himself up, waiting for him to come around, pew, 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 as they come around underneath them. It's crazy.
Yeah, we don't have Wonderworks up here. I've never been in, but I've seen it like in Florida. I think in Orlando they have one. Mm-hmm. And I drove by it, and I remember the first time I drove by it, I went, "Is that building upside down?"
And in some cases it moves.
Oh, okay.
They have speakers in front of ours that make creaking noises.
Yeah.
Oh, even better. That's awesome. Yeah. So it's a great gimmick, right? It's a great gimmick, but I just thought it was like an arcade type thing on the inside.
No, it's all science and it's all about that. It's that whole thing, that perspective and everything else. Because I've been a few. I think I went to one in Pigeon Forge as well. I've been to Orlando one. There's one in Myrtle Beach. Because at different ages. Well, when I went to Orlando, it's just me and my wife on like our honeymoon. I was like, "Oh, that looks cool. Let's go there." Then we took our kids, and the Pigeon Forge one, when you first walk in, it has that bridge that all the lights are going around it. Yeah,
it's got the spiral. So the bridge is completely level. It's fine.
It does not move.
But because the room is spinning, it throws off your equilibrium, so you go off balance.
Nice.
My wife hates that part. Then there's one where you hit the lights flashing button and the water looks like instead of going down, it's going up.
Yep.
You know, just so much more to it. So much about space and science. And you can get into a lander. And I think it's the Pigeon Forge one that has a big, like 3 or 4 story climbing.
Yeah, a rope course through through the universe. Like there's a whole bunch of like planets and stars and stuff up there, and my boys went up there. Jebediah and Bob quickly noped out of that, but but Malachi went for a bit before turning around. His friends were all over it. They were having a blast up there and yelling down, "Look at me! Look at me!" So, but
yeah. Apparently they have one up here. Well, up here being relative. In Syracuse, New York.
Is that a touristy place?
Well, it's a college town. Place. Okay. It's a college town, and again in the summer, upstate New York gets a whole lot of tourists because of lakes and whatnot. So, so Syracuse, so it's like 5 hours away from me. So I could go if I really wanted to, but
Yeah, no, I think it's one of those things like if you're on a trip to Orlando, maybe you swing it in.
And maybe.
Yeah. See, I just the drive wasn't too bad because I just popped in my earbud and listened to a podcast the whole time. But yeah, the boys, we made sure to tell them the night before, make sure your electronics are charged, and if not, be prepared to bring a book. So, yep.
But man, when I was a kid, I didn't have electronics. My crayons were always charged. I was ready to color in my coloring book, man.
I net a sketch and I liked it.
Yeah, I did. The magnetic hair, dude. Yeah. That was a high dollar, man. When I get my grandma bought me that guy, I was like,
Wild Woolly.
Yes. Oh my God, it was so dumb. But yeah, I want to jump to yours, Kurt. Okay. I renamed it just because.
I figured you did.
It's right up there. We know what he's going to do. So welcome to the new segment, Balatro Cooker.
Yeah. So look, just to put it out there, I'm still playing a lot of Balatro. I know it's crazy,
but it is such a great game.
It is such a great game. Yeah. But recently, probably a week ago or so, I got a rice cooker.
Now, see, that's why I renamed it, because I thought you talked about rice cooking multiple times here before, so I assumed you already had one.
Yeah, you've talked about it on the show before.
Did I talk about the one that I just got? Because
no. You had a rice cooker before,
I'm pretty sure
right?
2 weeks ago.
Oh, maybe it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
maybe,
2 weeks ago you did talk about your rice cooker.
Yeah,
so talk about putting it in your smoker.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but it is actually the first rice cooker that I've had.
You know what it is? I've been watching you share recipes with everybody in our Discord. That's
yeah.
All right, so fair enough. It's not at the Balatro level. I apologize.
So I've just been trying to figure out what can I do with it, and everything I've done has been amazing. One of the things it has for a setting is steel cut oatmeal. Now, I like steel cut oats better than rolled oats. I just do. And I said, well, I'll give it a shot. And it was amazing. It was the perfect texture, because even like with regular oatmeal, if you add too much water, it gets too loose and it gets weird.
Yeah.
And you add not enough water and it gets to be like cement. And this was just perfect. And then you can just add anything you want. I had rice for dinner tonight where I just threw some chicken breast in it and chicken stock and some garlic parm seasoning from one of those like taco type packets.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Just put it up, just sprinkled it on top, cooked it up. Delicious. It was fantastic. And the rice was cooked perfect.
Opa.
Yeah.
Now, are you playing with different rices?
A little bit, but not as much yet. So I ran through a bunch of basmati that I had, and I just got some jasmine rice.
I like jasmine rice too.
And jasmine rice is what I'm using right now. And then I'm gonna start playing with different types. I can do sushi rice. So I may end up trying to make my own sushi at some point, which I love
well,
sushi.
in that case,
so.
I don't know. I know everybody's talking about rinsing rice. Otherwise, you end up with sticky rice. Like, yeah, but there's definitely situations that sticky rice is what you want.
Yeah. So I have a whole routine now when I'm cooking my rice. I rinse it, drain it off, and then I wash it, which is kind of the same as rinsing, except you agitate it even more for about 30 seconds or so, just to get even more of the starch off. And then I rinse it 2 more times. And it makes all the difference in the world. It just does. Otherwise, it can turn to mush. And now it just
like rice pudding.
No, that's just weird and gross. Yeah. that texture shouldn't go with pudding.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason why I don't really care for tapioca. Right. Right.
But I Casey J talked about adding coconut water, which I know y'all went back and forth and stuff on. I don't like regular coconut, the flavor or the taste, but coconut water and things is okay. But I love a good coconut curry, like coconut based curry.
Oh yeah,
really good. You just the green curries.
Did you try that coconut cake that I brought several years ago to?
Yeah, I mean, it was moist. It was good. I can't. It's like chewing cardboard to me. I don't like coconut.
I don't like coconut either. Like, and it's a texture thing for me. Like
that's all it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like shaved coconut, and you bite, and it kind of crunches, and you feel like it shouldn't, and I don't like it. I'm
a big fan of coconut. So
the flavor is okay. It's fine. Like a pina colada is worse off without it. But
I like the pina colada without everything but the
coconut shrimp. I like a good coconut shrimp.
No, I can do without it.
I get it. I mean, I'm not saying it's horrible. I get it, but I'm with curry. It's just a texture. It's just okay. Here's the weirdest thing. Did not. Okay, I know everybody looks at me and they think they know my educational background. I did not eat glue, nor did I actually eat lotion when I was a kid.
No matter how much you liked it.
But shampoo, he was all about it. That coconut scented shampoo.
Play-Doh. It tastes Play-Doh. It's salty. But here's the thing. Anytime coconut's in something other than a curry for me, it's just really good in a curry or a coconut-based tom yum or whatever. Thai food, basically. I can have coconut in Thai food. I like it. They do it the way I like. Everywhere else, I've been around because I grew up around pools all my life, and suntan lotion always had the coconut, whatever, blah, blah, blahs in it. And you breathe it in. And so every time I smell it just smells like lotion.
You just associate it with lotion and
shampoo
and stuff.
Suntan lotion. So I just can't.
I get that. Yeah. And I still don't understand why that even was a thing.
It's kind of like the cilantro and soap connection that people make.
That's a gene in your brain, right?
Yeah, that's a different thing. Yeah. I mean, but I mean, like,
but maybe you're on something, Joe.
Why do we put coconut scent in suntan lotion anyway?
Why do we put banana scent in any bleeping thing? Same thing. Wash your hands with coconut and banana. What am I? A tropical idiot? I don't know what to say here.
Yeah, I hate it. I want my suntan lotion to smell like tomatoes. How about that?
Bacon. Make my tanning lotion smell like bacon. Come on.
It's still weird. It's all weird.
Yeah, it is.
So what's Shangri-La Frontier there, Charles?
Oh, that's a good one.
All right. See, this is where I hate Joe so much sometimes. Because I knew when I was watching this. One, I recognized the character from seeing the figures in stores when I was like, oh, okay, that's this character. And I knew there was a certain weird scene that I had paused on while I was doing something. I'm like, I bet you. It's just like the guy's shoulder with this little tattoo mark on his arm and this other weird character. I guarantee you, if I took a shot of this and sent it to Joe, he'd go, oh, yeah, Shangri-La Frontier. I've watched the whole season like 4 times, and the books are better. And the manga, what's coming up in the manga, Bubba? And but no, you're cool, man. Because everything is cool.
The second season is currently airing. It's great.
But everything that's fun is fun. So Shangri-La Frontier, Kurt, is an anime.
Huh.
Would you like to play what is the anime about game?
Sure.
Because you're not the only one. Because I've watched it. He's watched it. So.
Yeah. Shangri-La Frontier. I think Shangri-La is a trick. So, however, I'm going to say This is a show about 3 travelers who are trying to make it to Shangri-La, but the whole thing is about the trek there, and they have to go through 37 levels of hell, and one of them is virtual.
Okay, you're not that far off, sir. You're not that far, because it's very straightforward. I like the straightforward animes. So Shangri-La Frontier is the name of a VR game in this anime world, and the main character plays all these trash games, and he gets so good at it. And he's the kind of min-maxer that sacrifices all his armor as soon as he gets started to get better weapons. And so he's a naked player, right? He runs around in shorts, and he, in this case, he has this bird mask that he wears. But that's it. Like, he wants to boost his stats, get strong. But that's it. There's nothing special. They don't come into the real world. It's just him playing this VR game. And yes, like in any other social game, there's 2 or 3 people that are playing with them. And I don't know why it's called Shangri-La Frontier, other than that's just the game they're playing.
Yeah, that's the name of the game in the anime.
And so the whole thing really is just about beating the bosses and exploring the game. And it's fantastic. Except in the first episode, Kurt, get past the first episode. I'll tell you, you'll try if you want to.
I loved the opening.
The opening's great. The opening is great. He's beating this trash. No, the opening is fantastic. But when he gets to Shangri-La Frontier, now he's, like I say, he's playing all these like penny arcade games, if you will. It's just trash. They call them trash games, and servers get abandoned, all this other stuff.
And they're so riddled with glitches that it's almost impossible to beat unless you can figure out how to use the glitches to
which of course
he's
a master of. He's one of those guys, right? So he gets into this AAA Shangri-La Frontier game, and for whatever reason, throughout the whole first episode where he's playing that game, when he's fighting enemies, he yells Shangri-La, and like, why? Why are you yelling this? It has nothing to do with what you're doing.
It's an anime. It makes perfect sense.
But he stops doing it later, and like he skipped the whole first entry-level world, city, whatever, which is called what, First City or something, Joe?
Yeah, it's something like that.
Of course it is.
But he skipped it, and I mean, he is just, it's so much fun to watch him level and build, and there's no consequences because it's a game. So they die, they go back to their spawn point, he brings his buddies in to play, they jump to another game, sometimes one of these glitch fighting games to do things, and Joe, I got, of course I know how he got that tattoo. I'm not going to weigh anything because I think everybody should go watch it. I got to the special boss event where him and the 2 friends are fighting it. The you know what I'm talking about. The Weatherman. Yeah, the Weatherman guy. Dude, Kurt, when I tell you, some of them are okay, because it really is just like watching a show about people playing games. So there's sometimes where there's leveling stuff, sometimes there's talking, whatever. And so it's some of it's like, just keep going. But when they got to they had been building up to this fight, as in a real game, like you will, like WoW to go rating.
Right.
The 4 or 5 episode arc they did for this fight was like, I had to stop working and just watch it. It was just so on point, so good.
Okay.
And it's just, for me, it's different because I haven't watched one where it's not a real thing, right? He didn't get sucked into the game. It's not a whole world. It's just, he puts on the VR helmet, he plays the game. Yeah. Man, it's, and so he's finding the cool weapons, and he's accidentally triggered some other things, and it's opening up worlds. So it's also like when you and I used to play any of the Marvel games, like, somebody unlocked this, and they were the first to unlock this. That kind of feeling in there. Of course, he's the main character, so he's like doing it all, but it's a lot by accident, and just, it's enjoyable. I really enjoyed it. And the story behind that for me is when I was at the Dragon Con Digital Media, the Dragon Con Directors meeting, Tony Gowell, who works for Dragon Con, he happened to be talking to somebody else about some anime. And so, of course, I go, it's almost like when you're in the religious circles, somebody's talking religion, like, oh, have you heard about Jesus Christ? Have you heard about Jesus? So they're talking about something. They're like, oh, have you heard about solo leveling? Solo leveling. Tell me you've heard about solo leveling.
Oh, like, season 2 is fantastic.
Oh, I can't wait till I am so waiting for it to be done, because I'm just going to binge it without stop, just straight through.
Well, brief tangent. It Solo Leveling has brought down websites because of traffic, because of how popular season 2 has been.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah. All right.
So
the first season I watched it twice in full and then once in an abbreviated version in a movie theater. So 3 times basically. First season, so good. So yeah, this one for me is up there. Solo Leveling hits differently because it's real, right? For the character, it's a real thing in that world. Whereas this is that, but yeah, so they were talking about, and Tony's like, oh, if you like Solo Leveling, you need to try Shangri-La Frontier. And he kind of hinted at, I thought it was going to be like something comes out of the game with him. But once I realized that wasn't what's going to happen, I didn't mind. It was like, cool. So thank you to Tony Gowell of DragonCon for turning me on to that.
So if people wanted to watch Shangri-La Frontier, where is it streaming?
For me, I'm watching on Crunchyroll because this is where I go to find them now. But Joe, I'm sure it looks like he's Googling to see if it's on other places.
Yeah, it's definitely on Crunchyroll. Let's see. Shangri-La.
I will tell you, if you like any anime, that $7.99 a month for Crunchyroll is worth every freaking penny.
Yeah, it's for streaming. It's just on Crunchyroll, although apparently you can buy it on Apple TV. But for streaming, it's on Crunchyroll.
Okay.
Then my second thing is I did go see Captain America: Brave New World.
I did not yet.
I'm not going to spoil anything. I will tell you, Kurt, this is why I wrote Nobly Theaters. I'm not here to geek out about the movie. The movie was fun. I think you're going to know the whole movie. If you know any of the comics and you watch the previews, you basically know the whole movie.
Yep.
So if you have an opportunity, I know AMC has them, and I go to my nice AMC 30 to 40 minutes up the road versus across town to the crappy one because they have the Dolby Theater and other nice stuff. That made all the difference. Every war scene, the seats are shaking, and it's like I'm a little kid, like, oh my God. We see it in the trailer, the Red Hulk, catches the shield and slams it. It shakes you. So it made I'm not going to review. I'm not a reviewer from my personal experience because I basically knew the whole story from the previews and from the histories of the comics. It made what was an okay movie for me a great experience because you just feel like you're just being brought into more of that when you're there. And then our AMC has a clearance rack. And my wife loves to go look at it. It has a 50% off rack, and they're always changing the stuff out. And I'm going to let you guys guess at how much this bad boy was. Because what I'm showing on stream right now is a Deadpool. It's not made by Stanley, but basically it's Deadpool Stanley Cups, like 40 ounces. It's Deadpool, beautiful on one side, fully licensed. The other side says nerding since the 90s. Duh. Guess how much?
Is it metal or plastic?
It is metal. Guess how much this was at a movie theater?
$7.99.
$35.
Oh my God. What, Joe?
I said $35.
$35. $14. $14.
Okay.
On clearance. So yeah, I was like, because they didn't have any prices on it because the sign says 50% off marked price. None of the cups had prices on them. And I went up to the counter because we always pre-order our food and stuff, so we don't have to wait in line. But I went up to the counter and said, I just want to see how much it was. And it rang up 13 something before tax. And I was like, you have to get it. Yeah. I'm like, no kidding. Give me a second. Get my card out. Of course I'm going to get it. This thing is really, really thermally insulated. It's like 12 hours cold, 6 hours hot. It's a good cup. $14. Full on Deadpool. I love it. I love it a lot.
Cool. Yeah, so I'm hoping to go see it this weekend. And it's an AMC theater that I go to see it at. I like the recliners.
Yeah.
But I just didn't have the ability to go last weekend because, well, we've been getting snow and snow and snow. It's been an issue. But it's supposed to be like 40 degrees this weekend, so I think I'll be able to go.
Well, if you have the opportunity, do it in the Dolby because it's a little crisper screen. It's better color. The sound.
Yeah, I try. Yeah. I try to get whatever I can for the best option that they have. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Although Daredevil's starting soon. And the first 2 episodes are March 4th. So very soon.
Very soon.
And here's a sleeper. If you've not caught it at all, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man cartoon on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So this first season just wrapped up.
Okay.
It is fantastic. It is like, if you liked X-Men 97.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was their version of Spider-Man.
So if you liked X-Men 97, this is very much a Spider-Man year 1 type thing. But the writing makes it so much fun. And Doctor Strange is in it. Daredevil's in it. Daredevil voiced by Charlie Cox.
Nice.
Oh,
which is a nice touch.
Okay. Yeah.
They make reference to MCU stuff.
But it's not technically part of the MCU, right? Or maybe it could be with multiverse stuff.
Well, here's the weird part, right? Spider-Man is Spider-Man year 1, but they make reference to the Sokovia Accords.
Oh, okay.
And Civil War, except Spider-Man was part of Civil War in the MCU.
Well, but he kind of was year 1 at that point too.
Ish. Yeah, that's true. Ish.
Yeah.
So the timing kind of fits.
Yeah.
It's just weird and
sure.
But it's cool. It's really well done. It's really well done. Are you guys familiar with Nico Minoru?
Yes. Yeah.
So right, Nico's from the Runaways.
Yeah.
But she's in the same high school as Peter in this show.
All right. That's right. That's cool. That works.
And I'm not going to give away. There's a lot of differences, but there's a lot of key Spider-Man characters where you go, huh, okay, and yeah, it's awesome. It's so good. It's so good. So it might be my number 2 cartoon that they've done since Disney Plus started doing Marvel stuff.